Let's talk about Perfect Dark now, though, and it like kind of nearly making a resurrection, and maybe what the possibility of that still is. A report from Jason Schreier at Bloomberg revealed in the week that Take-Two held talks with Xbox to salvage the now cancelled reboot. Ultimately, any potential deal collapsed, and the two were unable to agree on what the long-term ownership of the franchise looked like thereafter. James, maybe first to you, what do you think the like ideal scenario would have been here?
The game got finished and came out. I guess,
would you like to have seen Take-Two take it over and
maybe
I don't care. Hold on
like,
to the
chuck
property
anyone
thereafter?
on it? Give it to I don't know.
Ubisoft Punai.
Yeah, no, not if they're a developer, not a publisher. Shannon. I don't. Yeah, give it to Tencent, like some mobile slop factory. I don't care. Like I would love to see Perfect Dark have new life, and stories like this always like frustrate me a bit because it kind of highlights.
Let it die peacefully without the hope.
Yeah, like what's the point? Because like obviously we don't know how real the footage we were shown was. I think the general sentiment was that it was real. It was just very like specifically done. But like I think there is room for shooters that are like even the James Bond footage from last week. I think there's room for like I mean I call this like spy-fi. Like it's a cool mix that I don't think has been like
he's coined that.
You've coined something
really been
there.
I don't think I have. I don't think that's my thing. Like I'm sure I've heard that somewhere before.
Okay.
But you know what? Like I feel like
Spy-fi.
that kind of that shooter where it's not just about shooting shit. You've got gadget. Like it's really an immersive sim, right? Like I guess Deus Ex is kind of like in that same vein.
That's
which
the
is
original
obviously
Spy-Fi.
One of my favorite games ever. Well, you're not a spy in that, but yeah.
No.
So it's not really spy-fi.
Get
at
it
all.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Warren
More
Spector.
spiffy.
So embarrassing. Yeah, but genuinely, like it's kind of frustrating. Like this was like talked up so much by Xbox, and then got cancelled, and then like just like complete like no, I don't know. Like I feel like the Take-Two thing, like just fucking I don't. Like, and then people get to keep their jobs, and especially Crystal Dynamics. Like, I feel really bad for them because obviously they staffed up to kind of fix this, and then they couldn't, and now like people don't have work. But I think at the end of the day, like it just shits me that people would rather just sit on this IP and do nothing with it for ages, and like and I can see it becoming a thing where remember how Conker was like in Project Spark like years ago, and that was just shit. Like. Are we going to just get Joe Dark as like a fucking Apex Legends skin at some point? Like, do you know what I mean?
If you're lucky,
She's coming a fortnight. I feel.
Or they're going to chuck her like in like as a card on Pokemon Card Online or some shit. Like just kind of like
Xbox cart.
Like licensing it out, yeah. Like put her face on the side of a car in Forza Horizon, like stuff like. I just like shit like that. Like you wanted to keep it just so you could do stuff like that. That is so frustrating to me. And that's not just Microsoft. I feel like so many people sit on licenses and IPs. Like Time Splitters is another one that comes to mind. Deus Ex is one that comes to mind now too. But yeah, it's just really disappointing because I feel like that game could have been something. Very different to what is around already. Yeah,
I think it's kind of wading into hypotheticals here, but presumably if it was just the kind of discussion around long-term ownership in which it fell apart, then you would have to assume that Take-Two looked at the financials and thought, okay, like for what is required to finish this game, we're prepared to fund that. And B, they must have seen like some kind of builds of the game and liked what they saw enough to kind of take it on and publish it, right? And presumably if they wanted the long-term ownership of the franchise, they saw potential in it to kind of grow and carry on. So I think like it bodes pretty well for the state that the game was in, which I think makes this even more frustrating. That like really it was the kind of... Yeah. It's just so frustrating. And... maybe like more the business side of it. Like, okay, well, I want the ability to extract value out of this forevermore is where it fell over, which is just again, I'm making a couple of assumptions there. It's a bit of hypothetical, but yeah, it's if any of that is true, I think that makes it particularly more disappointing. And it's not the first time like a game has just kind of maybe been in a pretty good state and just shelved. Yeah, I feel for the developers as well that spend all these time working these games and it just never sees the light of day and progresses anywhere else. Nor are they really allowed to kind of talk about it and show their work in a portfolio or anything like that. It's really, really rough. Sorry, James, I thought you were gonna.
No, I agree. I just think maybe also like you don't know. Maybe Take-Two is like we want it, but we want to own it so we can make a fucking gutsy game like a year later or something. Maybe they didn't want to do that. Like I also that could be maybe the other way that it was going.
And maybe they were like, it's in a really rough way and it's going to cost us, so you want the long-term rights. Maybe that's also true. So yeah,
I think we'll just get a Sea of Thieves ship themed after Perfect Dark for season 42 or whatever they're up to now. So,
Brody, do you think there's any chance Perfect Dark does make a return, or is it really just going to be Sea of Thieves ship skins?
I think if only
sail.
Oh,
designs?
you mean ever? Not this iteration necessarily.
Yeah, ever. Not this iteration.
Yeah.
Is it tarnished now? Like, is it just bad news?
Yeah, I think there would be a little bit of I guess bad will and stuff attached to it now. Like you'd find it hard to believe if they announced a new one next year that thing would ever see the light of day. But I don't know. It is unfortunate. Like I think the only chance we have of seeing anything Perfect Dark released is if some disgruntled Crystal Dynamics developer releases the build that they were working on or something like that, and that somehow comes out. But yeah, it just sucks. Like to James's point, like Crystal Dynamics are the ones that have been kind of stuffed the worst by all this. Like Xbox build this quadruple A studio only to shutter it. They get Crystal Dynamics in to help, they staff up, and then it all falls apart. So it is yeah, it's just a shitty story really. But yeah, but long term I can't see it. Like maybe a remaster or a remake of Perfect Dark or Perfect Dark Zero or something on some anniversary perhaps. Next year would be the anniversary of Perfect Dark Zero, wouldn't it, James?
That'd just be such a weird slap in the face.
Or is it this year?
If they did that?
Yeah.
What was the question?
The anniversary of Perfect Dark Zero.
25 years this year. Oh, wait.
20.
Perfect Dark Zero.
Yeah.
No. Sorry. Perfect Dark Zero was 2010,
5 or 6.
no, I think.
That was a launch title.
What? Really? When was
360.
it? 2006.
There you
Yes,
go.
Sorry.
Maybe they'll do a controller
Next
to
year, we're
commemorate
going to
it.
get a Perfect Dark controller.
It'll be a
Joe
Perfect
Troller.
Dark DualSense, like to celebrate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame this all fell apart. I'd like to see it return someday. It looked really cool. And this is coming from someone that hadn't played a Perfect Dark game. I thought it looked neat. And I'm a big fan of spiffy games or spy-fi games, whatever you call them.
The world wasn't ready for Spy-Fi.
I welcome more.